All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast 758. I'm your host, GPD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who also wants you to suck his tongue, Wombat.
I am a man of peace, a worldly man of peace. So yeah, that checks.
That's what they want.
That's how they roll.
Is that something you're not supposed to say to kids?
I want to, unless you're being like Dracula. I want to suck your tongue. In that context,
is that what Dracula says?
Yes, in that context, I think it would be okay. I think nobody would have a problem.
Anybody to suck your tongue before?
Of course.
Okay,
when I'm
just checking. I just want to make sure you have as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say no. But, just saying.
Right. Yeah, let's not talk about that at all.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if there's a conversation for the show.
I need to know one thing though, because I heard Howard talking about it. The kid didn't actually suck his tongue, right?
I don't know.
We don't know. Nobody knows.
I have no idea. I honestly have no idea.
I think not. Obviously not. If the kid actually sucked the Dalai Lama's tongue, that's another level of just saying "suck my tongue."
I honestly don't know.
He did not. The chat says he did not. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure on Howard they sort of implied that there was actual tongue suckage. That's anyway. Welcome to the show, everybody. Spring break. We're here.
Mm-hmm.
We're on break. Are you working, Wombat, or are you not working?
The only day I took off is Friday of this week.
Oh, is there something happening in Fortnite on Friday, or?
No, we're gonna go see the Super Mario Brothers movie on Friday morning.
That's a party.
And then we're going for a hike in the preserve.
Don't say which preserve, because someone might be waiting for you in the bushes.
I mean, if someone wants to join me, even if they were waiting in the bushes at the preserve, I welcome it.
What if they had a knife?
I mean, I'll have my binoculars, so I'll be prepared for a fight.
You'll see them coming, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you're going to throw the binoculars at them.
I could use the binoculars like a Jackie Chan style.
Binoculars would give you enough head start. Like you're just constantly looking to make sure that you have a good 200-yard head start if they were to come at you.
No, I think Wombat can wield it it could make a good weapon. They're heavy. And you have the strap, but the strap these days probably not sturdy enough to swing.
Are
they old school binoculars, from the 70s or 80s?
No, but they're quality.
Because those you could take out a person with easy.
Probably.
Nothing that's made today you could actually really take out a person with. I feel, except guns.
You feel.
I mean, weapons you can obviously, but you know what I mean.
I do.
Everything's shit now. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome to the show. We have big update to give because Ship's been a fantastic 18 hours in New York.
That sounds about right. Yes. Yeah. I took a quick stop in Turks and Caicos on my way there. And
right.
How was that?
Turks and Caicos is great. I recommend it. They have beaches and shade, lots of shade that you can sit under. No, it was good. We went to the whole family went to a all-inclusive type resort.
Nice. I like those.
With these, Wombat?
I am the biggest fan of the all-inclusive. I live for the all-inclusive.
Oh. You must be like their devil customer of those. I don't know. I just feel like
why?
I feel it's not.
I'm like the most easygoing guy.
I don't believe that at all.
100%. I guarantee it.
I feel like when you're in customer mode, though, like service me mode, you could be demanding.
No, because that's the whole point of the all-inclusive is that there's
no service.
You don't care. It's not that there's no service. You don't care if they bring you.
Is that because you're drunk?
And they also don't care. It's like, let's say you go.
Let me know what all inclusives you've been to, because I'm not sure.
Where nobody cares. The customers don't care, and the people working there don't care.
It's not that
club, I don't
cares.
give a shit. I went there when I was in my 20s.
No, it's just that there's an easygoing feel to an all-inclusive. Like you go to dinner. Let's say you go to dinner and you say to the waiter, like, what do you recommend? The salmon or the steak? And the waiter at an all-inclusive will be like, you know what? I'll bring you one to eat.
Hey, man, I don't give two shits.
At a good all-inclusive, the waiter will be like, you know what? I'll bring you both.
Don't you be asking me these jerky questions.
Okay, whatever. I'm done. Goodbye. I'm trying to explain, but you don't want to. You just.
There's no laugh. Reasonable explanation.
There is 100% reason.
Okay. I understand your
Chip's got it.
Yeah.
I just talked over
Bring it all.
Yeah. Basically, and they're like, "Of course we will. Here's one of everything."
But what if they don't bring enough? Then you tell them to bring more.
They'll always bring enough. They'll give you. You could go. We were at an all-inclusive.
They're used to that type of thing.
We were at an all-inclusive, and my son was eating bacon for breakfast, and he said to the waiter, "The bacon is so good," and the waiter came back with a bread basket full of bacon.
That's a lot of bacon.
And that was unasked.
Right.
But I'm saying like that's the difference between pretty much unasked. But that's the difference between an all-inclusive.
Hey, I wonder if they have bacon here.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, do you think they have bacon here? Sorry.
You don't get it.
I get it. I understand. The problem with you've been on cruises before or no?
No, I don't.
But why don't you like the cruise? I'd like to hear it.
Because it's too confined.
Have you been on a cruise?
No, but I don't want to go on one.
But it's an all-inclusive thing, though.
I don't want to be on one either, though.
Well, now because of the disease thing, I understand that.
I would much rather go to the Mohonk Mountain House.
Okay.
Where they have 4-star chefs in the all-inclusive, and then when I eat my giant breakfast, I could go for a nice 2-3 mile hike.
The cruise is cheaper, though. The cruise is cheaper than
cruise might be cheaper than Mohonk, but I'm just saying. You're asking what I prefer.
Yes,
you're not going to beat that.
But you hadn't been on a cruise yet, so you haven't had the cruise experience. Have you, Ship? Ever?
No, because I don't want to have the cruise experience.
Exactly. Well, I understand now.
We're simpatico here.
But is that before the whole diseases?
Yeah.
You never wanted to do it, even when you were younger, like in your 20s or anything.
If I'm on vacation, I want to be able to do what I want to do. Like I don't want any boundaries for when I'm on vacation. Like,
I hate schedules.
A used video game store on this?
No, but you can theoretically pull into a port of call. I think St. Martin has a lot of great video game stores.
You know what the best part of an all-inclusive is also? No one's handing you a bill while you're on vacation.
That's how a cruise is like that too. Until the end.
You just go to a restaurant, you eat your food. When you're done, you get up and leave. You leave a tip because you're not an asshole. But generally speaking, there's no bill.
You guys aren't gamblers either. Cruises have a big draw to gamblers and overeaters.
I'm not. I eat appropriately. Like I go to the meals. It's like it wasn't super hot. Like it was like a high of 80 every day, right? Like it was like 70 to 80 degrees.
That's good. That's what you want.
Time. Yeah, it was great. I was the only one in the family that didn't get sunburnt in some fashion because
I saw that.
I'm the pro.
Was it all-inclusive booze at this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Some places don't do all-inclusive booze. I
still don't want to go to any of these all-inclusives you're talking about. No, it was all-inclusive. And then we did some like side excursions too that were extras. Like we did a clear bottom kayak tour where we went out into some like mangroves area and there were sea turtles that would like pop up right next to you and swim underneath your boat, and sharks and all kinds of that stuff.
They didn't have that technology when I was there. The glass bottom kayak technology.
Mm-hmm.
That's like some Star Trek 4 shit. Transparent aluminum.
That's what I felt like. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good.
How do you know he didn't invent that?
Shipwreck?
It's a Star Trek 4 joke.
Oh.
You brought it up. Never mind.
Oh, right. I haven't seen that in a while. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Just try
but then I stopped our flight on the way back.
Computer. Sorry, I'm talking into my mouse.
That's okay. Shipper's talking about finding the nuclear vessels. You were saying?
My flight on the way back just happened to be coming through JFK.
Yes.
With an overnight stay. So GP graciously invited us over and or he came and picked us up. I don't remember if he was like, yes, I'll come pick you up or not.
I asked. Of course I was.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I was self-serving in a way because I had just dropped off Mrs. Cheapy and Ty at the airport on their way to Japan in the morning, and I get like traveler's anxiety when they go places and I don't. So it was nice to have, not an empty house and activities to do. And we did activities.
We did.
And we met up with Wombat. First, we met up at Wombat at the dim sum place in Little Neck.
That was a good time. I had a good time, at least. I don't know about you.
Everybody had a good time, I think.
That's good.
Good time was had by all, as the saying goes.
That's nice.
What did you? I took these guys to Northern Manor, which is one of these cart dim sum places. Which
authentic.
Which is, there's not that many of those anymore because I don't know. I think not a lot of whiteys go there in general. So yeah, we got one of the big tables with the Lazy Susan that you love to get.
I do like the Lazy Susan. And
they have the aquariums with all the crabs, which the kids love.
And the weird giant fish that I've never seen anyone eat.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like one fish in the crab tank. Mm-hmm. And we're like, that's not going to be good. But and then we went to the Museum of Moving Image,
which I did not join you for.
Why not? You don't like a nice museum?
It was a weird day. But anyway, you go ahead with your stuff.
You shit your pants during the lunch?
I did. I shit my pants during lunch, and I was like, you know what?
Time to make a hasty retreat.
Like the smell doesn't bother me, but I don't want to bother everyone else with it.
Yes, that would have been quite of a bother.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, did your kids enjoy the museum, Chip? And you've been there before.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've been there before, but yeah, it's got the Jim Henson exhibit that has all kinds of Muppets and Fraggle Rock and Dark Crystal and everything Jim Henson, Sesame Street. And so that's all cool. It also had is it Leica? Leica? How do you pronounce that, Wombat? You probably know this.
The Studio Leica? Leica?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You pronounce it
Liquor, I believe. Liquor. Liquor.
The studio that did Coraline and Kubo and the two strings. So they had a lot of the puppets that they made the movie with there. And
they're bigger than you think they're going to be, right?
No.
Or have you seen them before? So you were like, no,
I've not seen them before, but I didn't have I figured they were somewhat in the size that they were. They're about like
30 feet
18
tall.
inches, 18 inches tall or so.
Yeah, they're over a foot tall. I always thought they were like 6 inches. So, which is an adequate size, mind you.
But I knew you couldn't wait to get a dick joke in there.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking that.
So we've been watching a lot of Fraggle Rock and Muppet shows now, which there's a new Muppet show coming out soon on Disney. About it's
the band.
It's about the band Electric Mayhem.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dr. Teeth.
And them making an album. It's a series about them making an album.
Probably funny-ish.
Yeah, could be.
I always get emotional when I go through that exhibit because I watched so much Muppets growing up. And all the other
I rewatched
and the Fraggle Rock.
I rewatched some Muppet Show stuff on Disney Plus like a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, they have the collection on there?
Yeah, they have the whole thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
We watched the Don Knotts episode.
Oh my God, I would watch
the Harry Belafonte one is probably the best one, like of all time. I'm gonna say Harry Belafonte and the Muppets is the best of all time. But the Kenny Rogers one isn't bad either. He sings The Gambler with like these old Muppets that were made just for that.
I remember that. I think I've seen like almost all.
It's cool. Those Muppets that they use for that are like bananas.
They were making music videos really before
music
videos, except they were with puppets, and makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I thought the cool thing about that, I always think the coolest thing about that exhibit is it shows like Jim Henson stuff before he did the stuff that and a lot of it was just commercials.
The Wilkinson's coffee commercials?
So many, like aspirin. He made like experimental like commercials for Buffrin aspirin, and they're like so trippy, and it's just, it's crazy. Anyway, it's a good museum if you need like an hour and
his agent at the time when he did those commercials was Bernie Brillstein from Brillstein Gray. He's he was very famous. He's passed away. He started a lot of comedians, and one of them was Jim Henson. And what he used to do is he would get the commercial breakdowns because they would show up every morning. That's how it would work in the day. You'd walk into work and there'd be in your agent office, it'd be like a sheet that said, these are auditions going on today. Send your people that are right for X, Y, and Z. And whether they were right or whether it didn't matter what they were asking for the commercial, it could be housewife, 35 years old. He would send Jim Henson to everything.
That's, yeah. It's like AI taking our jobs.
Yeah, and Jim Henson would show up and he with a Muppet to these commercials where they were looking for a housewife, and he would do his thing. And
this is a lot more interesting than having some housewife.
And that's how he got the coffee commercials. Was doing that. Like it wasn't they weren't looking for a Jim Henson.
Have you been to that exhibit?
No.
Oh, you gotta go. I
read the Bernie Brillstein book, so
you gotta go. It's Emmett Otter is there.
I do love me some Emmett Otter.
You can get like right up to Emmett Otter.
Yeah, it's great. I can't believe you've never seen that. Yeah. Like, what are you waiting for? It's right by your house.
I mean, sorta.
It's not far.
Close enough. Less than an hour.
It's closer than your house.
Less than an hour.
I've been there twice. I've been there 500
times. I'm in the collection. I'm in the museum collection with my unboxing PS4 video. Dumbass video.
I just renewed my zoo membership. I got to go there again first.
Zoo. I think that's the same.
They've got some like wax figure type props from like The Exorcist too. The kids really like those.
Yeah, I always forget about that. I always forget about the
horror section. Yeah, like the whole horror section where you just come around and you're like, oh, okay.
You literally turn a corner and there's the legs from Black Swan. They're all cut up and The Exorcist stuff. It's just right. There's no warning or anything.
Oddly, yeah, but my kids would love that. So that's the difference.
Take them.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my kids weren't freaking out about it. It was just like me moving them along. Like, okay, we don't need to be looking at this stuff. We don't need to form your opinion of this right now. Let's go look at some Muppets.
Right.
And Chewbacca's head.
Right. I'm going to have 3 different house guests in the week that my family is in Japan. I might set the world record for just 1 week while your family is away. I had a friend in town on Monday night or Sunday night. Oh, Monday night. We went to the Met game. Guess what type of people are at a Met game on a Monday night this week? Wombat will get it. Go ahead.
Is it a Monday night this week?
This week is the key. This week is the key factor to that.
Well, it's spring break for all the public schools.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a lot of kids.
Yep. There's a specific type of kid.
A specific type of kid.
I'll give you a hint.
Give me a hint.
A lot of them are wearing beanies.
I mean, it's Orthodox Jews,
yes,
right? Yeah.
Yes.
My wife said that was the zoo when she went this week also.
Yes. It was a lot. And I found out my friend who was staying with me is very Jewish. He's been to Israel like literally 60 times. So he explained to me that, a lot of these families are pretty big and it's a reasonably priced night out if you have like 4 or 5 or 6 kids. He has 4 kids. It's like $15 a ticket and the place is half empty anyway. And they have kosher food there. There's one kosher food stand in the entire city field. So of course, like you're gonna wait like a half an hour for a kosher hot dog. But so we're there at the game, and I'm smelling weed just constantly through just nonstop. Not just like one blast of a vaporizer or something, just like a doink being smoked. And when that one was done, another one.
Doink.
A doink. And when that one went out, another one lit up, pretty much right away.
Wow. Like doinks everywhere.
And my friend, I know, like my friend who I was at the game with and who was with his family, his giant fucking family, I know that his family caught him.
So the whole family stayed at your house?
No, just him. Just him.
Oh, okay.
His family caught him like smoking. His kids caught him smoking weed, like smelled it on him. So they know what weed smells like. So I know it's like super uncomfortable for him. And like, it's just not stopping. So I'm turning around. I'm trying to find it. Like I figure I can find it. It's very windy. It really could be coming from anywhere. But after looking around for like 10 minutes, I finally see 3 guys in the last row smoking. and they're Orthodox Jews. I see like what's the thing that hangs through the clothes? The little towel thing on the bottom?
Yeah, the talus.
No.
Talus.
No.
Phallus.
No, it's like the Cecilias or something. No, it's wrong. I even asked my friend what it was called, and he told me, and I forgot. Okay. But anyway, who knew? They love it in the last row. And it seems like Citi Field, like they're fine with you just smoking weed there, apparently.
I was going to say, but isn't there like no smoking, generally speaking?
Definitely. Okay. Definitely.
So you shouldn't be allowed to smoke anything.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Inside. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Religious freedom.
I don't think that's it.
Right.
You can't just smoke in there.
I feel like
they would just,
but they did.
Just didn't care.
I mean, I left at like the seventh inning. We left at the seventh inning, and they did not.
Wow, that's a stretch.
Where's my doink?
Shipwreck liked that one.
No, he didn't. He died inside a little.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
I feel like, like these stadiums, like what does Citi Field hold? Like 55,000 people, something like that?
Yeah,
50,
like the population of London.
And half of it was empty. There was entire sections in the top section that were just empty. Like literally, you could have the whole section to yourself. I mean, maybe someone will come tell you to stop, but I don't know. Nobody was stopping these guys. Anyway,
fair enough.
It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice walking around Citi Field.
I bet. I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah. What else? I've been very busy at the table tennis club teaching spring break camp, where I met the girl with the worst hand-eye coordination I've ever seen in my entire life, who could literally not make contact with the table tennis ball, like not hit it. And just
how old was she?
Like 11 or like significant to where I was wondering, like, does she have a vision problem or something? Because it's one thing to get the ball back on the table in the right spot. It's another thing to just miss after like 30 balls and just miss every one of them. It's like, I've never seen that before. I've been through a lot of kids in groups training like this. Just never seen it before. So I told her, I said, look, forget about the table. Forget about the net. Forget about me. Forget about everything. Just watch the ball. And when it comes to you, just hit it. I don't care where it goes. Just hit the ball. Make contact with the ball. And she was able to do that eventually. By the end of the day, it was from 10:30 to 4 o'clock. By the end of the day, she was able to get 5 in a row contact. No, nothing. Not one of them landed on the table. Not one. Not a single one. But I came back today at the end of the day, and the coach was working with her, and she looked like almost, I mean, not great, but she was able to rally. And I was like, wow, look at that. I thought she would just give up after, because like if you do something and you're just extraordinarily bad at it, it's pretty discouraging.
Yeah, it's called life.
Well, so then you stop doing that thing, right? Like, it's like, oh, this makes me feel stupid. Like when I was taking Japanese classes in Japan, I was like, boy, these kids are a lot smarter than me. This is very discouraging. I'm just going to stop taking these classes. But she came back and persevered. Victory. It's very satisfying and time killing to teach these kids where I'm not missing my family. It's working out very well.
Nice.
I have a very good symbiotic relationship with this table tennis club.
We've noticed.
Yes. Should we? And I'm getting Egyptian food tomorrow night. Authentic.
Ooh, I don't think I've ever had Egyptian food.
Have you even met an Egyptian person before? Think about it.
I might have.
I mean, like have like a substantial conversation with one.
I don't know.
Maybe you bumped into one on the street and were like, hey.
Out of my way, Egyptian.
Right. It's interesting. They have, I don't know, at least this one has a very interesting personality.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Anyway, I'll report back next week how that Egyptian food was.
Look forward to it.
Let's do some show feedback.
Sure. Idiot Man 09 says uncontrollable laughter from this episode, fellas. The AI movie quotes were hilarious. So
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes.
I put a lot of effort into it.
I know. Did you do any more?
No.
Okay.
I'm busy. I'm keeping myself too busy. The last thing I want to do is being sitting here and spending hours fucking with the voice cloning thing.
That's fair.
I need to be busy and active. I went to the gym this morning, and meanwhile, all the girls, the college girls are back for spring break, and most of them can lift heavier weights than me. they all have big asses now because they know, like, the strength training for asses is just available on YouTube for anybody, right?
Well,
and it's just like, it's a thing. Like, the girls want big, strong asses. And
guys don't make passes at girls with small asses.
That's not true at all. I think it's glasses, what you're thinking of.
Oh,
I know you might. I understand the confusion.
I do get confused easily.
And this is the first time this has ever. I've actually taken a year's worth of Orange Theory classes, over a year's worth of Orange Theory classes, and 366 or 7 now. And I've never had a class where I went to go try to get a heavy weight for something, and like I was struggling to find one because it was all the women. And there was one woman who was like 6'2". I was like, shit, I'm not going to even watch what these girls are doing. It's just going to make me feel bad. But I'm keeping active. And I went, thank you. Anyway, what else?
Amtrak Track had to say, holy shit. I used to watch CAGcast ages ago. Never saw the video feed. I don't understand how you can watch. I don't know what that sentence means.
Right. He meant listen. He meant listen. He's like, he's probably watching another video while he's typing this.
I know, it's fine. Wombat looks exactly like what I thought. Shit. So clearly, I look like shit. Which
the tone,
I do.
Well, depends on the tone. You could say Wombat looks exactly like what I thought. Shit. No, shit. Shit.
Yeah.
I guess it's, pretty much he thinks you look like shit.
I look like shit. I know.
You need a haircut.
I do need
I think we can all agree on that.
Well, my barber closed. And I'm like in between.
There's a good joke
barbers.
in there. There's a good joke in there. I see why. I can see why.
And I just haven't, like, I don't know. Like, there's a place that everyone recommends, but they're closed on Saturdays. And I'm like, ugh, this is like a pain.
Right.
Great clips.
Yeah.
Is it Great Clips?
Sports Clips. Sports Clips.
Yeah.
It was Sports Clips, but there was like a lady there that I liked, and she knew me. And
Wait, your Sports Clips closed?
Yep.
I thought you were like actually going to like a local barber shop or something.
Well, no,
you could find another.
It's just local Sport Clips.
No, there isn't one. There isn't another one on Long Island. That's the problem.
They probably closed down a lot of them during
have
COVID.
Great Clips?
I don't think so. I'd
probably have a coupon.
It doesn't matter. I just like the person who cut my hair. She was nice. I think she ran the place. It was her place. I kind of feel bad that she's gone. It was her franchise. She was a nice lady, and she would cut my hair, come in, she'd say hi, and and I didn't have to like go through the whole rigmarole of what I wanted.
Yeah,
because it's in the computer.
Well, I understand that, but also there was more to it. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Another job lost to AI.
Pretty much. But anyway, yeah, there's that. And Snake Pond had to say that, God, I love AI Wombat. So congratulations on your AI Wombat stuff. People really like it.
Excellent. Good. The movie quote game was fun. It was much easier. I was thinking, like, it's kind of hard to write funny lines for you to say, because the obvious thing is to make you say like jerky things, like you like Tucker Carlson, or you're looking for a hot penis or something like that. Too hacky. Might as well just make up a fun game show.
Yes, it's smart. Good job.
Let's do some Watch This Jerks. It's a very robust list here.
Yeah, I watched a lot of stuff in the last 2 weeks because I don't know.
You have time.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
My wife and I watched Murder Mystery 2 together, the sequel to the Jennifer Aniston, Adam Sandler detective epic.
So there was a first one of this. It just wasn't. They just didn't name it Murder Mystery 2.
No, they didn't just name it Murder Mystery 2. There was a Murder Mystery 1.
I can't believe people watch these movies. Why would you watch that? You just let me ask you a question. Forget it. I understand why you'd watch that. Is your wife looking at her phone like throughout the movie?
No, it was her idea.
Oh, but that still could be.
That was her choice.
Was she still looking at her? But you can still answer the question. I feel like it's not that engaging. I bet you're like constantly checking your phone.
Oh, there's definitely some fun. Yeah, it's not a movie you have to sit there and stare at. Right. I didn't hate it.
I'm predicting Rotten Tomatoes 40.
It is less. It is short. It is under 90 minutes long.
I love movies that I don't have to stare at. It's my least favorite thing about movies.
45. Thank you.
Okay.
And the audience score is a 48. That's synergy right there.
It was fine. It was a fine, early evening movie to watch.
Would you agree with a genuinely mediocre sequel to its similarly middling predecessor? Murder Mystery 2 could have been much better and a whole lot worse.
I think what they should have done, but I understand why they didn't, because I'm sure there's licensing.
Show Jennifer Aniston naked.
I mean, you could let me finish a sentence. That would be nice. They allude to the Thin Man franchise, which I know is something that is a long dead franchise, but those are very good movies from the 30s. And
okay.
That's what's going to save. That's what's going to make Murder Mystery 3 the best movie.
No, these movies are a direct play on those films. It's what they're
written
they're
like
doing.
hot garbage.
But written like hot garbage, where they literally could probably take the first Thin Man movie and just remake it with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, which is what they should have done. But they obviously don't want to pay for that for whatever minimal cost it probably is.
Right.
They just don't want to do it. Like the characters.
It might be too soon for a remake of that too.
Yeah, it's only been about 80 years. So they've made remakes of it before too. None of them are as good as the original, but I actually think that Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler do have good chemistry together, and I think that it could work. And it would have been nice if they kind of leaned into it and went for it instead of kind of dancing around that's who these characters are supposed to be. So like their names are similar and their attitudes are similar, but they don't just go for it because, like I said, they don't want to pay to have that be the thing, is my assumption. I don't know.
Is Rob Schneider in this?
No.
Are all of his other friends in this?
No. Not even his weird looking nephew.
Oh, is this one that he's just acting in, or?
He produced it.
Oh.
I think he co-wrote it too.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have some medical procedure.
It's not the worst thing I've ever. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but I'm not going to say run out and watch it. There you go.
What about Dungeons and Dragons? That's supposed to be good.
I took my son to see that in the theater because he wanted to see it, and so did I.
And you can't watch it at home.
Not yet, no. So we went to a movie theater and saw it on a Saturday morning, matinee prices. And it was cute. We enjoyed it. I liked it. That has a good Rotten Tomato score. It's long. It's a little too long. It's like 2.5 hours long for a movie that should be like an hour 50.
Is there a reference to backstabbing causing double damage?
I don't think so, but there might be, and I could have missed it.
What about pickpocketing?
Yes.
Is there pickpocketing? Okay.
There is yeah.
Talking weapons?
No.
Maybe the sequel. I think sequel, you bring in some talking weapons.
Yeah, you can't do everything in the first one. Right. There's lots of names of places that you'll be like, oh, I know that place.
How do the goblins look?
I don't know if there are.
What?
I'm sure they had goblins in it.
Skeletons?
No skeletons.
Man, what do they go for? What do we got?
Dragons and the dungeons.
Any doppelgangers?
No, there are mimics. There are mimics.
That's different, though, I think.
I know, and there are the cubes.
Any sirens? Cubes.
No sirens.
Gelatinous cubes. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Gelatinous cubes.
Okay, I should probably watch this because I read Monster Manual cover to cover.
I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it more at home than in the theater, obviously.
Perfect. That's what I want to hear.
And I saw the problem also is I saw it with a bad theater.
Uh-oh.
It wasn't empty. There was like maybe half full, but like there'd be a joke, and I would like laugh, and I'd be the only person in the theater laughing.
Oh.
And I'm like, I know it's not a laugh riot. I know it's not the funniest.
Me. That wouldn't even slow me down.
But I'm
it
like,
would embarrass the fuck out of Shima, though.
I'm like, come on, people. These jokes aren't that bad. Like, they're worthy of like a. But it is also like it. When you're the only one who laughs at a joke, you start to be like, is it me? Or
are these people not high enough?
Something. I don't know.
No, you should laugh. Maybe sometimes they need a little help, and your laughter may lead them along with you.
That's what I was hoping.
But it didn't work.
It didn't work.
And you have a good laugh, too.
Oh, no.
That's weird.
I would have just been judging him. This guy laughing at these jokes. I'm trying to listen.
Right. I don't want to miss a word. It's like Shakespeare. How am I going to understand what's going on?
Exactly.
When we saw that Kumail's movie, Big Sick, I was laughing so loud and often that Mrs. Cheapy was like, "You have to stop." She's like, "Yeah, can you do that quieter?" I forgot what she said, but I had to adjust my volume. I was hurting her ear. That's what the problem was. I was literally, sometimes I laughed so loud that I hurt her ears. What else we got here? Who saw Clerks 3? Must be one on that, yeah.
I saw Clerks 3. Yeah, why not? I like those movies.
They never look right.
Huh?
They never look right when you see a clip.
They don't look right.
You know what I mean?
No one in that movie looks right. No, I know exactly what
production,
you mean.
The look of the production, just never, something's always off. It looks like just some guy made it.
The people in the movies are weird looking. Like, I hate to say it because I know it makes me sound like a dick.
Right.
But, when you see Jay and Silent Bob.
Yes.
And Jay has, like, reconstructed meth face, which he does. He has a reconstructed meth face. And it's like...
That's a thing? What? Why? What happens when you do meth? Your face gets fucked up?
Yes.
Like, how? Like droopy or something?
It gets droopy and you lose your teeth. So he has all new teeth.
That teeth I knew. Okay.
So it's like he just doesn't look right. Like I'm glad that he's recovered and he's in a better place now. And I wish him all the success in the world.
Maybe they could have worked that into the movie. If they worked that into the story more, maybe that would have been okay. Like in The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke.
Maybe, but it's distracting. And I hate that I think that way.
You're so shallow.
I know.
You're always so, all about that vanity.
I am. And I mean, it's fine. I don't want to, I don't know.
Clerks 1 is a classic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if we needed to go back.
No, we probably didn't.
But okay, I thought about watching it because it's on something. What's it on?
It's on. I saw it on Stars.
I might have that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I saw it on Stars. It was okay. I didn't hate it. And again, if you have fond memories of Clerks, it's a nice nostalgia piece. But it's it's okay. Right. Mm-hmm.
Is Mark Hamill in it?
No.
Seems a bit of a misstep there, but okay.
Sorry.
We all watched the Jason Isbell documentary called Running with Our Eyes Closed. Mm-hmm. A shipwreck's rock and roll friend.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not in the documentary, so
maybe
it was during COVID.
Well, not the beginning.
I could have been at some of those shows. I don't know.
Oh, you mean in the dark part of the screen?
Yeah.
Like at one point he's talking and someone hands him a water. That ship's hand.
Or it was his water, maybe. That was a pretty well done little documentary, especially I have had no really experience to him or his music. Only his tweets. A lot of experience on his tweets. Yeah, it was really well done.
Yeah, we talked about it at lunch. So, but
yeah, no, it's the weird. Like it's weird to see like a documentary like that about somebody that I obviously know quite well. So that's the part of it is like, oh yeah, I remember when he looked like this in college, and I remember when these things happened. And
would you say it was a pretty fair representation of him as a person?
Yeah, I think he's much funnier than the documentary presents him as. There's not a lot of humor in the documentary, I would say. There's some, like you get some of his humor in there.
You get his wit. I don't know that you get much, too much humor.
Yeah, like
that's probably on the floor, the cutting room floor.
It doesn't paint him as being a jovial guy, that's for sure.
Right, which I mean, he is a very funny individual, but also, as the documentary points out, like he's gone through some stuff in his life, and,
he's pretty serious.
And he's pretty serious as well. Mm. Like,
He could have taken quarantine better. I still stand by that.
He was fine. When you said that he was complaining about quarantine, that was before I watched the second half of the movie, because Shipwreck watched it at my house and I had to go to bed after the first half. Not because it was boring. I was just past my bedtime.
Yeah.
But I didn't hear. I mean, he was complaining about not performing for people because that's what he does.
He was complaining that he couldn't take it anymore and that it was too much. And that if he didn't have his family there, he would go back to drinking because that's how hard the quarantine was for him. He's
a recovering alcoholic.
I didn't think there was anything that could even be resembling.
I'm just saying, I get it. It's tough for everybody.
No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying it's especially tough.
That is 100%. He's saying it's especially tough for him.
Yes.
But he also lives on this giant estate with land and animals and sunshine and creature comforts. Yeah. It's not a bad take.
Very bad take.
It's a bad take.
It's a bad take.
It's a little whiny and entitled.
You go back and watch that, and
I did watch it. Shipwreck's not going to agree with me because I'm talking shit about his friend. But
it's not only that. It's just
it was a weird.
I just think that he could. He made it through. It's not like he didn't. I'm just saying there were parts in the documentary, maybe it's in the editing, where he came off a little bit whiny about being stuck in quarantine when he has it significantly better than about 98% of the population.
You can still struggle emotionally even if you've done well for yourself.
Yes, but I feel like he lacked a little bit of perspective.
I don't think he did because I also know that he had close friends that died due to COVID.
I don't know. I then blame the editors.
But I don't think anything that he said was considered excessive or complaining.
He did. He complained the whole as soon as the quarantine part starts. Right. He does nothing but complain about being stuck.
Well, I'm sure they asked him questions about it, but I've heard very similar responses from other musicians who are basically saying, my whole life is performing in front of people, and it's how I cope with, my past and how I stay sane, and I can't do what makes me normal, basically, or makes me whole. And so that is hard for me.
I don't know. I went through the same quarantine he did, and I think he was
but you were still able to do your job the same way, basically, and even in a more convenient way.
He was fine.
Well, he didn't say he wasn't fine. He just saying he was having a tough time because he couldn't perform for people, which is what he does to basically, literally survive and, mentally and to make money, I feel. All I'm saying is I heard other musicians say the same thing on Howard.
That's when they were talking about I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. Also, the documentary, I think, the documentary needed some sort of epilogue, a post-quarantine epilogue, because the documentary ends with it still being in quarantine, and there's no resolution on all of the struggles that he's going through with him and his wife and how the quarantine was impacting them. And we as an audience, don't get closure in the documentary. And that is the failure of that documentary.
Damn, holy shit. Damn, what did this documentary do to you?
I'm just saying, you can't build
How did it hurt you?
The documentary literally builds up a storyline. It has a dramatic arc where there's the movie,
it's probably still unresolved. Their relationship is probably still rocky.
No, it's not right.
Well, not right now, but wait till the next.
That's what I mean. There is, because especially when
some of that's not in order in the documentary though too. They've got some of the happier parts midstream on that documentary that happened after COVID.
Then it's especially since if they had the footage, because it starts with them in the studio and they're not getting along, and then it goes with them in quarantine where they're basically stuck together and learning about each other again for all intents and purposes. And then there's supposed to be a third act, even if it was 5 minutes of, and now quarantine's over and we're back on the road again. We're back in the studio and this is how we are. Some sort of wrap up, because that does exist. It didn't end we're not in quarantine now. It ends with it being 2 years ago, and it just kind of leaves you hanging there. And
running with our eyes open is the next one.
I don't like that structure in a documentary that's supposed to be telling a complete story.
I think they would have had to have gone back and reshot some things, right? I think this was likely in the can for a while because it's about the making of his last album, and he's getting ready to put out his new album now.
It just even a wall of text. Then don't shoot something. Put up something else that says, and then Jason went on tour and everything was great.
Jason Isbell returned to his home planet.
To his home planet. Yeah, exactly. just give me something.
All right, I'll let him know.
Because the ending of the documentary was kind of shitty.
Man, you really did not like watching him say he was having a bad time during the quarantine.
No, I do think he overreacted. Not
like it. I think you overreacted with that. I mean, I didn't, because I was looking for it when you said something. I was like, shit, because you were upset about it during lunch. And when I watched it that night, I was like, whoa, I feel like I didn't catch that. Anyway, we talked about enough. We all watched the Tetris movie too, right? Or did we talk about that?
I didn't watch it.
Wait, you didn't watch the Tetris?
Oh, I should.
No.
I think you would like it. It's good.
Murder Mystery 2 and Clerks 3.
When I watch things that my wife wants to watch, I watch the things that my wife.
She would have liked Tetris.
She would.
Yeah,
I watched it.
It's a hard sell, though.
Really? It's well done. It's like a real movie with real acting.
I understand. I'm sure it's very good.
For video game movies, it's really like one of the best, for sure.
Not a lot of video games in it.
I mean, for movies based on about video games. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I like that movie a lot. I thought it was the story was very interesting, and I didn't know that story. And it was
you didn't
well
know about
done.
The car chase.
The car chase. Look, I mean, movies have to make movies based on real events have to embellish them. At least they feel like they have to embellish.
That was the third act. They had that third act that they had to have. That was the car chase.
Like I told you, Argo did the same thing. The movie Argo with Ben Affleck. They added a car. They added a car chase at the end.
Yeah, I think the only thing about that movie, like the 8-bit or 16-bit, whatever the video game special effects that they would sprinkle in from time to time.
Yes.
I was just like, I could do without a lot of this in here. This is just like
distracting,
reminding us. Yeah, it's just distracting. It was just like
this is reminding us that we're watching this on Apple TV. Is that what it was?
Yeah, no, that's what it felt like. It was like, okay, they had a little bit of budget to spend on special effects, and they were going to spend it. Little
being the key word. Yeah. I actually didn't mind it, except for the aforementioned car chase. I felt like that was a bad decision. We didn't need as a little transitions and stuff and highlights. It's okay, but like, let's not incorporate into our one action scene. All right, what else we got here? TV. Both Wombat and I watched Wako: American Apocalypse.
You had already talked about it.
Yes, that is true.
So I watched it. I watched something that you recommended.
Yes.
I thought that you would appreciate that.
Yes. Did you like it? That's what I'm waiting to hear. I did like it. Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned a few things about it that I didn't know.
Yes.
That whole thing, what a disaster.
Right.
Without
spoiling anything.
Tragic.
Yeah.
What a tragic moment in American history.
Without spoiling anything, because I feel like people should go in, even if they think they know what they know, they should, if they're going to go through watching 3 episodes of this, they should not hear like plot points. Did your opinion change about how the government handled the situation after watching the documentary?
It's funny. I don't know if I had a real opinion about it beforehand. Like, I don't. Okay. Like, I'm not like a Waco expert.
Okay. Without giving away anything specific, if you had to, on a sliding scale where you're placing the blame on the event, one end is the Branch Davidians and the other end is the FBI or whomever, where would you put that marker, the blame marker?
I don't think it's that easy to even say that.
See,
it's really, it's not, you can't give it a definitive answer.
So 50 is what you're saying, right in the middle.
It might be right in the middle because I think there's
don't give anything away though, please.
Well, I'm not giving anything away. Okay. I'm saying there's government mistakes in the beginning.
Okay.
But the end.
It's so tragic. Yeah, that's why you kept saying, it's
the end isn't the government.
Right. But
and
you appreciate seeing like the interviews with the people who were actually there who survived.
Those nut jobs, yeah. The surviving nuts.
And the surviving nuts who got to listen to like things they've never heard before that happened there and seen things that they've never seen before. Pretty cool.
I felt really bad for the girl.
Yeah. I feel bad for everybody. Really, anyway.
Yeah, everyone involved you feel bad for, except for the creepy sniper dude.
I even felt bad for him, like that he has to kill people for a living. That was Netflix, right? Wako American Apocalypse. It's pretty well done.
That guy has definitely been affected by his job.
He's fucking killing people from like so far away. And
I'll tell you this much, though, he probably didn't handle the quarantine well either. So
I can't kill anybody. God damn. I think he's retired. I feel like he's retired.
It doesn't mean he stopped killing people.
What else are we watching?
I've watched enough movies. I know how that works.
Right.
I watched a little bit of Shrinking on Apple TV. That's the Jason Segel, Harrison Ford sitcom. It's very good. It's worth your time.
Is it funny?
It is funny.
Am I going to laugh out loud?
Yes, it is part of a trend of shows lately that I find probably a bit of a weird trend where the protagonist has it's in the first episode. I'm not giving anything away. The dead wife protagonist. What's the show? The Adam Scott show, Severance. That's another a dead wife show. And then you go and now here's another dead wife show.
Right.
It's funny, but it's interesting.
It's cheating.
It's like cheating.
Instant get to your heart.
And then I also watched Unstable, which is the show that Rob Lowe does, the sitcom. It's on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. I watched the little trailer for that.
It's really good. It's got Rob Lowe and his son, and they're in it together. And Rob Lowe plays like a eccentric billionaire. And guess what he has?
Dead wife.
That's
why I didn't watch it. I figured that out in the trailer.
Protagonist. I think that we need to put a moratorium on the dead wife.
Yes. How about what could they have substituted something else in the Rob Lowe show instead of a dead wife? He could have been suffering through something else.
It could have been, or not suffering through anything. Maybe the wife left him. Maybe
he's not suffering that much.
Yeah, maybe his wife just lives in New York and he lives in California, and the son has just been there for a while, and he wants his son to come back because his son's an adult, and it's not like they're not fighting over. Wouldn't be fighting over custody. Right. It would just be about spending time with his dad and joining the family business. It would literally be the same thing.
Right. But he has to cry probably every once in a while on this.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with Shrinking. It's oh man, everything's great. Oh, that ice cream cone reminds me of my dead wife. Nervous breakdown.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah. And it's I get it. I'm not belittling
people like it.
I'm belittling it in a sitcom situation only, not in a reality situation. But yeah.
I watched the first couple episodes of Dave. That's the Little Dicky series. Have you checked that out? It's very funny. I don't know anything about Little Dicky, but I was just looking for something funny, and it looked like it was going to be funny. And guess what? It was very funny. And in news, they're going to make a Harry Potter TV show.
That's nice.
But it's not HBO Max anymore.
It's just on Max.
It's just called Max now. I learned.
Yeah, they cut off the first half. I heard Peacock's doing the same thing with their name.
That's good. Did you write that ahead of time?
I should have.
You just came up with that right now?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
It's really good.
Thanks.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Shipwreck, what'd you think?
It's super dank.
Oh, good. What else we got here? Let's go to new releases.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any?
I'm yeah, we can.
What about this Tron game? Talk to me about this Tron game. I like Tron. Was this game for me?
It might be. It's on Switch.
Do I throw any discs, or am I just talking to people?
I don't know. I honestly haven't been paying too much attention about games on consoles.
It's made by Mike Bithell.
Yeah, it's a Bithell game.
So it's probably just them, Tronies talking to each other.
I mean,
you're not on a grid or a motorcycle.
I don't know.
I would think.
Tron Identity is a visual novel adventure following Query, a detective program tasked with uncovering the mystery of what was taken and by whom.
How do you spell that? Is it QUEER-E?
No, it's spelled QUERY.
Oh.
Query.
My way's funnier.
I know.
Is he a gay AI?
Yeah. I don't.
Gay eye? Is he gay eye?
I get it.
What else we got in new releases?
Horror Tale 1 Kidnapper.
What?
I don't know. It's the name of a game.
I don't believe you.
EA Sports PGA Tour.
Oh, how is that? Were they able to make a golf game good? Because it's been a while, I feel. Let's see. Metacritic.
You can play as John Cena in that one, can't you? Is that
true?
Oh, wait, no. That's in this is EA Sports?
EA Sports PGA Tour 77.
I did hear that it's in the game.
John Cena's in the game?
You wouldn't be able to see him anyway. What's the point?
Right. I'm fine. I used to play a lot of golf games, but I feel like I played so much I don't need to play anymore.
Ooh, the lights just went off.
Ooh. What else we got here?
Lee Trevino's fighting golf.
All right. All right, let's get out of here. What else we got? Let's move on to Wombat's Fortnightly news.
Sure.
Let's do it.
The big news today, or in the last couple of days, was that Redfall, that's the vampire shooting game.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, and it's an Xbox console exclusive?
Yes.
And the news is that it's only 30 frames per second at launch with the 60 frame per second option coming in the future, not in the near future, but just in the future. People seem really upset about that.
I don't understand. I understand that 60 frames per second is better than 30 frames per second.
I'm glad.
I understand that.
Thank you. Otherwise, we'd have to kick you off the show.
No, I do understand that.
Yes.
What I don't understand is why people care.
Well, it's much better in 60 frames per second.
I understand that. I didn't say is it much better or is it just better?
It's twice as better.
I mean, seriously.
I think people are upset.
It can make a difference.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Like in a first person, or in a single player game.
Yeah, this is a co-op game. So you're not fighting other human beings. You're only fighting.
It doesn't matter when people want to play. It's an FPS, though, right?
It might be third person, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, could be. I don't know.
Like how we don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've watched videos of this before, and and
you still don't know. Me too.
I still don't know. Yeah.
Right.
I think
it doesn't matter to me. I guess it does, like third person anymore. That's usually just like so close to the character that you're essentially playing a first person game, anyways. I don't know. I get preferring it to be 60 frames per second, but
sure. I never said that. Yeah, I 100% agree.
It's just a way that people can bash Xbox, because if it was a PS5 exclusive.
Well, it's first person, by the way. People made the same complaint about that Gotham Knights game. Like, I kept seeing that on Twitter today. It was, well, this was the reason why Gotham Knights failed. No, this is not the reason. That is not the reason why. It had nothing to do with it being 30 frames per second in a single player game. No, again, I understand if you're playing online multiplayer against other real people where a faster frame rate totally makes a competitive difference. I understand that. But if you're playing a game at 30 frames per second, it's single player, and it looks fine, I don't understand what the big deal is.
Well, it also depends on if the gameplay is made for 30 frames per second or not as well, right? Like, you don't want to play a racing game at 30 frames per second anymore, right? Like, you can tell a difference there if you're playing Forza.
Yeah, you can tell the difference in a first-person shooter too. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
People are, and I think people just don't understand, like, why can't this be ready at launch? Why, should they just delay the game and wait till it's ready? But isn't this a Game Pass? This is a Game Pass special,
It's a Game Pass game. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna throw it out there and not give a shit.
Yeah, it comes out less than a month.
Yeah,
less than a month.
And hope maybe they can get it going quick. Get a patch going quick.
I have a feeling it's gonna be fine.
Okay, people are very upset.
People are stupid.
Did you see this article that Nintendo has subpoenaed Discord to get the identity for the Tears of the Kingdom, the Zelda Tears of the Kingdom game? I guess there was a leak from an art book that's coming out. I think it's coming out with you have to order it at Best Buy, actually, to get that art book. And it's in the collector's edition. Got it. So they're subpoenaing Discord to try to find out the leaker's identity. Nintendo, very aggressive. What do you think?
Gotta protect your IPs.
I wonder what do you think Discord's gonna do?
Is it this?
Whatever Nintendo wants.
I saw something. Is this? Somebody said they were. I don't know. I saw it on Twitter when I was scrolling. Somebody got fired from GameStop, maybe over this.
Oh, already. So if they got the information already, they figured it out. I haven't seen. Look it up.
I saw it quickly scrolling on Twitter, and I didn't know what the situation was.
Oh, so they have the guy's username. They actually know who was the initial leaker on Discord. They have the guy's username. That's not good.
Yeah.
What was it?
It says
Julian?
GameStop 2 hours ago. GameStop employee who shared Tears of the Kingdom leak says he was fired at Nintendo's request.
Wow, that was fast.
They don't mess around.
Wow. I wonder. I guess, was it the same guy who posted it on Discord? Or his crony? His partner in leak crime? Interesting.
I think it was. I don't know.
Remember when Circuit City subpoenaed me to turn over the details of Speedy 1963? In
I do.
2007.
Is it really that long ago?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then I paid a lawyer so I didn't have to do it, to fight it, and because their lawyer sucked more than my lawyer, so I didn't have to do it. Yay! It was good. And I got a lot of free publicity. Not free publicity, but I got a lot of cheap publicity. What else we got here? What are we playing?
So, Ship, I want to ask you as well. Have you checked out the Avengers game since the big patch?
I haven't because it took forever to download.
Oh, I downloaded the big patch for Avengers, and let me tell you, if the game came out and was somewhat more like this when it came out, probably would have been received a little bit better. Just a little bit better.
What do you mean? They just had all the costumes and stuff?
It has all the costumes. It also takes away some of the things that I also felt were kind of that sort of brought the game down. So if you recall, it also had those challenge cards. And to do stuff in the challenge cards, it was always like really tedious. Like it was tedious tasks that took away from playing the game you want to play it.
Sorry, so like, while you're talking about Avengers. Sorry about that. I apologize.
You asked the question. But anyway, the update gets rid of those challenge cards and all of those challenge card tasks. So now you're just going into the game, and if you want to just fight robots as Captain America and not think about how many headshots you need to get by throwing the shield, it just makes the game a little bit freer and more fun. It also helps that Captain America looks like Captain America now. And not like, why is it this guy in this... Why is Captain America wearing a black, white, and red tack jacket?
I know. Because they want you to pay for the one that makes him look like Captain America.
Exactly.
Yes.
And and that business decision did not work out well for them.
No. See, you know what? It's good. I'm glad that it fucking failed.
Yeah.
Good for, they deserve it.
Because, if you look at the default costumes, particularly the Captain America one and the
sucked.
Thor
they all
ones,
sucked.
Yeah, no one looked like who they were. Like one of the game unlock skins for Iron Man was literally a guy in a t-shirt with a flight helmet on. And I'm like, what? Remember that? Chip knows what I'm talking about.
Wasn't that part of the storyline though too?
It was part of the storyline.
That would always made sense. And
you could get away with that.
Yeah.
If it leads to you getting this either comic book or movie accurate costume shortly thereafter, or when you finish the game, you get the dumb helmet look, like, because no one wants that as a default look for half the story, which is what it feels like. So
It's weird.
They made a lot of mistakes with that game, and the patch.
That one backfired bad.
That one backfired really bad.
Do you think also for Marvel Sons, like the same bad decision, like putting the black and gold costumes, it's so visually boring looking. Like,
that was a bad decision. That was a bad marketing decision.
Yes,
but it's not but the game doesn't have that bad decision.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Because when you play Marvel Suns the black and gold costumes, that's the end. That's the last
your reward.
thing.
That's your
reward. That's the last thing you unlock.
Yeah.
When you play the game as Spider-Man that looks like Spider-Man. So it's the opposite. So that's good. What they did is good.
Yes, but except for marketing. I mean, don't you think? I mean, I'm not a marketing expert, but if the superheroes look more like the superheroes that you know, you're guaranteed to sell more copies, like a substantial percentage of more copies, like 20% more. Like, I feel like that's not being ridiculous. Like, if
what they should have done is they should have had the hunter that you play with in the black and gold, and you could probably get away with like Blade and Magic and Ghost Rider,
like a variant. It's just a variant, really, for them,
as in the black and gold behind them, and then behind them,
the money makers.
You have Captain America, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, and the Hulk in their comic book outfits.
It's gonna pop,
and that's that would pop. And you're going to be like, oh, I get to play as this Marvel Suns team with this Avengers team. And look at the Avengers. They look like the Avengers. This is going to be awesome. And they didn't do that. And that's where they fucked up.
Yeah, totally.
Right, Chip?
Yeah, I'll play that eventually.
That game is really good.
It just keeps dropping in price.
Don't you think, though, if the cover had...
Oh, no, we've talked about that before. I'm like,
it's crazy.
Send out a slip cover to the stores that just has Spider-Man's face on the front of it.
Yes. Yeah.
And you're fine.
Just his face. Just Spider-Man.
Spider-Man face.
And a bubble that says, hey, I'm in this game.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like, you can play as Spider-Man in the classic red and blue costume.
Yeah.
There's like 3 different shades of red and blue that you unlock while you play the game. You don't have to spend any money to get the Spider-Man to look like, and they all look like Spider-Man. Like, you're not going, who is that?
Right. All right. Tell me about, I want to hear about Loop Hero.
Loop Hero, I am mildly addicted to Loop Hero.
Because you told me that you wanted me to play it, and I went to check it out, and I looked at the video, and I was like, so sell me.
Okay. And I also think Chip would like this, but I thought you would like it more because it has a very late 80s, early 90s PC feel to it.
Okay.
And I feel like you would enjoy that sort of thing. This is a really hard game to explain. It's technically a roguelite. And there's a loop. It's literally just like a white outline on your screen and let's just say a circle for all intents and purposes. All right? Or a rectangle, whatever you want it to be. That's your loop. And your character is a little icon, this little pixel icon that's very small, and it goes in the loop. And as it moves in the loop and it moves automatically, there'll be like a slime on the road. And when you hit the slime, then it goes into the battle scene and you get like a 16-bit knight fighting 16-bit slimes. And it does the fighting automatically. You don't have to hit a button. Then when the fighting's done, the game pauses, basically. And you either get a terrain card or new gear for your guy or both. And while the game is in that pause mode, you put the new gear on your guy, if it's better gear, or you can look through, compare, contrast. And then you put the new terrain card on the map. And the terrain card alters the gameplay. Different things will happen depending upon what cards you put down. If you put down a mountain card, it gives your character +2 HP. If you put down the swamp card, you get swamp resources, but there's also going to be, I forget what shows up in the swamp. Whatever monster shows up in the swamp. I think it's mosquitoes. So you'll have to fight a harder enemy, but you get better gear and loot from them. If you you can put down a Dracula mansion, there's going to be a vampire is going to show up, but you also could put down meadow cards, and meadow cards give you more HP every time you do a full loop. You get more of your HP back in recovery. There's villages that you can put in there.
Okay, I get it.
So you're basically building the map as you play. And then once you do enough loops, you have the option to retreat and go back to your village with all your resources, or you could keep looping around as much as you want until you die, and you'll lose 30% of your resources if you don't retreat before dying. And when you get back to your village, you can upgrade your village to have a better start to your loop, to your next loop.
Got it.
It's weird to explain, and I know when you say it, it doesn't sound like fun.
Right.
But it's very zen and interesting and enjoyable to play.
Okay. And not that hard to play.
It is not that hard to play. Your first probably 2 loops, you're going to be like, I don't 100% get this. But once it clicks in and you understand, like, oh, okay, I need to put my mountains over here. And I need to put my meadows over here. And I need to put my treasury over here. Then it once that all clicks in and you kind of get what you're doing, it's a lot of fun because you have to think about what you're doing, even though you're not doing any of the fighting. It's like the anti-vampire survivors, where in that game you're not actually doing the fighting, but you're constantly moving and making your choice, but all the moving and you're doing everything. Right. In this game, you're not doing the moving at all. The game does that part for you. You have to make it's just making.
You're just making the decisions. You're like a coach.
Yeah.
RPG coach.
It's like an RPG coach. That's a good way to describe it.
See?
And it's on Game Pass, so check it out. What have you got to lose?
I will. My time and life.
You can play that with your kids in the room. It's all, pixels.
I don't know. My Dash is into Tony Hawk right now, so I'm good. We take turns playing Tony Hawk.
Right. You can show off.
What's this
I'm better
thing
than he is at
I've been playing Rocket League.
Why?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used to play it when it came out.
Sure.
I am so confused by that one. Go ahead.
I used to play it like when it first came out, and our friend Ben Gilbert was playing it again, and I was like, oh yeah, I like that game. So I went back and I installed it on the Xbox, and I went through the fucking huge trouble to like link my Epic account so I could have, because I played on PlayStation, and I had a lot of shit that I unlocked, including I bought the kit car, the Knight Rider car, and I bought the DeLorean from Back to the Future. So it's been a lot of fun to play that game. It's very hard, but I like it because you can just play for like 20 minutes or so and be like, yep, I got a bunch of matches in and scored a couple of goals. Only because I play in casual mode. But it's pretty cool, and it's good to see that. I feel like they could be making a lot more money. Like, I don't understand these free-to-play games with the whole limited store. I realize this game's existed for years and years, and they've had thousands of things probably on sale. But when you go to the store, there's like 7 things on sale. And you have to wait for the store to refresh.
Isn't there a battle pass?
Yeah, yes, there's a battle pass, and you're unlocking stuff.
Because I think that's where they want to hook you.
I do not like this, like making these items rare artificially. So like they only appear in the store, like who knows when. It's like, I understand it's a trick to make it rare, artificially rare. So then people buy something that maybe would not ordinarily buy. But boy, is that consumer unfriendly. It's like, if I wanted to buy that kit car now, like you can't. Luckily,
that's literally the whole.
Luckily, I planned ahead. I said, maybe I want to play this game in like 4 years. Let's just buy this. Let's pay $2 for this.
Like you with
car.
the RoboCop in Fortnite, which
exactly,
came back, was back in the shop this week.
See, they do. I don't. It's hard for me to believe that if they just had a huge fucking store, okay, where you could scroll through all the shit that in Fortnite, whatever, Fortnite, Rocket League, all these games. Just page and page of scrolling through stores of shit that you could buy. I feel like they would make more money than this limited bullshit. I mean, don't you think?
They've done the math.
I know, but how could that be? Like,
it's because you get people that are sick. They're either it's going to be people that
I think that
on the fence. They don't, if they're put against a time limit, they're going to say like, okay, I'm going to buy it so I don't miss it. And then you're going to have people also that are like, just constantly keeping up every week as well. Like, here's the new stuff, gotta buy it. It's not gonna be there next week.
I don't know.
I want to say that there's a middle ground. I think that you're mostly right. I think it needs to be, but I also think that there should be the occasional. This item is in the shop. It's going to be in the shop for 2 weeks, and once the 2 weeks are up, this will never ever return.
Okay,
I have no problem with that.
Let me ask.
As long as it's not every 2 weeks. Like, if they do that once a season in Fortnite, I think that's actually they do it like I would say Fortnite technically does that 3 times a season. There are going to be 3 skins that will never be available again for sale outside of the battle pass once the season is over. There's going to be 3 skins. There's going to be the starter pack skin, which is a cash skin that costs $3.
I know, but we don't need all the details. But don't you think if there was a huge store, like you play Fortnite so much, don't you think like in between games?
I think that would be cool if you could go to like Fortnite.com and go
log shopping.
Into your account.
Yeah, just go fucking shopping.
Log into your account and use your V-Bucks on the site, and it'll
you can't go shopping in that game. It's just like if the shopping experience is over like that.
To do on the Xbox though, to have that many pages of stuff on the Xbox,
they could organize it.
I mean, it would really be. Although there have been rumors of that coming to Fortnite too. There have been leaks where they show like there being the Marvel store on the thing where you would click on the square that says Marvel and you open it up and all the Marvel stuff will just be in there.
I feel like there's I mean, you would think that they would know, obviously, because they have all the data and I have no data. But as a human being who exists and plays video games, I find myself, when I'm tired of playing a game that I like, if there's a store, even if I know there's a 99% chance that I'm not going to buy something, I look through the store because I'm curious and I like to shop. And even if it's just window shopping, I look through the store.
I was literally doing that for the hour before we did the show today. Remember where we talked about it? That I was on Big Bad Toy Store.
Right. Well, I'm talking about in games, in a game.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't really have that opportunity. I mean, some games though, right? Like Assassin's Creed, like it's those non-free to play games. They have a big, robust store that you could actually spend time going through.
Never goes away. That's always just there.
I don't know. I feel like it's a bit of a. I mean, they have all the data again. Surely they must know. But I know that like when I play Apex Legends, after I play for a little while, I look through the store because I want to do something. And that's over in like 2 seconds because there's 1 page of shit or 2 pages of shit. And it's like, okay, I don't want that. I don't want any of this. And that took 15 seconds.
Yep. Yeah.
If they had 2 minutes worth of shit for me to look forward to, maybe there's a better chance I would buy something.
I don't know. Maybe seriously, but what if they did it? What if it was just not everything, but the stores were just like 4 times larger?
Yeah. That would give me the opportunity to shop, and you would think there would be a better chance of finding something I'd be interested in. But if the prices weren't so shitty. Anyway, I don't know. They must know. They're spying on all of us. Mm-hmm. Let's wrap it up. That was a long show.
It was.
And I don't know. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. So, yeah, that's all we have to say about that. And Jason Isbell wasn't overreacting about quarantine. I think we can all agree on that. That's the official CAGcast stance on the documentary. And we'll see you next time.
Bread's done.